You got your victory dance?
I got one right here. Yeah. We rolling?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Jackie Chan-uary. This week we are capping off this series for the year. Can you believe it, Tavi?
Yeah.
But we are capping off this series for now, anyway, with a great movie.
Yeah.
What movie are we talking about today, Tavi?
We're talking about the sequel to Shanghai Noon.
Yes.
Which is not how these things usually work, is we usually do talk about the first movie, but
Yeah.
I think you and I like the sequel more than the first one.
Oh, definitely. I'm just going to go out and say this is potentially my favorite Jackie Chan film of all time.
Oh, really? Wow.
For reasons, which I'll probably get
Yeah.
into in this episode. But yes, we're doing the 2003 sequel to Shanghai Noon, Shanghai Knights, starring Owen Wilson and Jackie Chan. And if you can leave a like on this video, this would be very much appreciated. Ooh.
Yeah.
Quick recap of Shanghai Noon, just in case people are somehow not familiar with these movies, which they might not be, because definitely not as popular as the Rush Hour series.
Yeah.
Even though it is better, in my opinion.
Them fighting words, man.
So basically, Jackie Chan plays an ex-Imperial guard named Chon Wang, who travels to America to oversee the ransom of the Empress, played by Lucy Liu. He comes across Owen Wilson's Roy O'Bannon, who is a fast-talking cowboy who helps him rescue the princess. The two develop a friendship along the way, and Chon decides to stay in America at the end of the first movie, Shanghai Noon. So the sequel starts in the Forbidden City. Well, it starts with a really long 2003 opening credit sequence.
Yeah.
That's how you know this is a 2003 film, is the really long opening credits.
Yeah.
But then it does go to the Imperial City, where we meet Chon's father and sister, who are the guardians of the Imperial Seal. Which is the MacGuffin of this movie.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Pretty poorly guarded.
Yeah, it's like
Imperial
it's the symbol of like,
power?
China's unification and China.
Yeah, in the
And it's
Forbidden
guarded
City.
by an old dude and
a woman. Very progressive.
Very progressive, yeah. As the film's villain says in the film himself, Peter Baelish.
Yeah, Peter Baelish. So the film kicks off with Littlefinger killing Uncle Benny at the start of the film. The actor's name, Aidan Gillen.
Playing Lord Nelson Rathbone.
Yes.
Which is a very evil name.
Yeah, he just looks like a Dracula at the start of the film.
Yeah.
Just straight up. With like the most villainous hairdo of all time. Just that little cowlick thing he's got going on there. He kills Chon Wang's father and incapacitates his sister, the character's name is Lin. Played by Singaporean actress Fan Wong.
Yeah, who's apparently really popular in that neck of the woods. Like, just doing a quick wiki a while ago, and like, yeah, she was like one of the top TV actresses.
TV actress? Yeah. I think she does mainly the Chinese spoken language stuff in Singapore.
Okay, yeah.
Not so much the English stuff, I think. But yeah, I feel like Jackie Chan has a pretty good relationship with Singapore. I think he has lived there before.
Okay.
For tax reasons, probably. That's why all rich Chinese people live in Singapore, for tax reasons usually.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes sense. And she's pretty good in this movie.
Yeah. She's good, yeah.
She quite
she
well.
kind of she kind of plays a playful role. One of the first like Asian strong female leads back then. Maybe kind of a nod to the Michelle Yeoh and Zhang Ziyi of Crouching Tiger.
Oh,
maybe.
Yeah, it was that era of cinema.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
2000, the early 2000s, yeah.
She's replacing Lucy Liu. Lucy Liu's character could not make it into this film.
She's a Pepe, yeah.
She was busy doing Charlie's Angels, I guess.
Yeah.
They kind of hand wave it away a bit.
Yeah, they do, where because Jackie Chan's like a sheriff of this town.
Yeah.
And then like he sees like this carriage and is like waiting for the princess, and the guy's like, his deputy is like, he'll come back someday or something.
Yeah,
like, Jackie Chan is like, oh yeah, she's really busy in New York.
Yeah, modern women.
Maybe in New York filming Charlie's Angels or
Probably.
whatever.
Charlie's Angels full throttle, maybe.
Yeah.
At this point.
Which is a significantly lesser quality film than this one.
Well, I don't know.
I haven't seen it, but yeah.
So the first movie was set almost entirely in the US, in Nevada. But this film jumps around a bit. So we start off in the Forbidden City, and then we go to Nevada, where Jackie Chan is a sheriff, as you mentioned. But then he finds out of his father's death, so he has to go visit Roy in New York City. Like, this is one of my favorite films, but it's been a while since I rewatched it.
Yeah.
But One thing I noticed upon rewatching this is that I really like the use of music.
The music sets the tone quite well, and
yeah.
it's very much like you can see like those Buster Keaton
Yeah, for
references.
sure.
It's really like obvious in this one.
Yeah. And just like the scene that we're talking about here where his dad is killed and then he finds out about his dad. Like the transitions in music and scenes it shouldn't work, but it does work. Like when his dad is killed and he's dying and he's on his deathbed, he's like, give this puzzle box to your brother.
Yeah.
And there's like this mournful like Chinese string score.
Yeah.
And then it jumps to like the west and it's like this jaunty cowboy tune. And then like it's just really fun. And then Jackie Chan finds out about his father's death and he goes onto this mountain to do a prayer ritual and it goes back to like the Chinese swell.
Yeah.
And it's like really mournful. But then he goes back and he's talking to his horse like doo-doo. And like the tonal shift is so wild, but like the music sells it so well because it's so fast and you just kind of go along with the ride, like as a result of like just the music and the speed at which these things happen.
I really like the chemistry between Owen Wilson and Jackie Chan in these movies. Because I think they actually like each other. I have a feeling that Owen Wilson is probably a bit more of an actor who takes his job a bit more seriously than
You're
Chris
referring
Tucker.
to Chris Tucker, yes. So I'm of two minds of this, actually. I think the banter upon rewatch is potentially where this film stumbles a little bit.
Okay.
Owen Wilson is definitely a better actor than Chris Tucker. But if I were to compare the two partnerships, like Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan versus Owen Wilson and Jackie Chan, like the dialogue in Shanghai Noon and Shanghai Nights definitely feels a bit more scripted.
Yeah, you don't have that like off the wall,
it's less
Chris Tucker's-
improvisational.
Yeah,
like,
probably a little bit less natural, I guess. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I still feel like the comic timing in a lot of these scenes is quite funny, and Owen Wilson's delivery is made him just being kind of Owen Wilson.
Yeah,
still,
yeah,
but, like,
definitely. I think
it's still funny. Yeah,
I think that, like I said, Owen Wilson is a better actor, but I do feel like this feels like acting.
yeah,
Because the two sets of characters have similar character arcs. Like in both movies, they start off distrustful of each other, but then as they go through their respective adventures, they grow closer, and become almost like brothers. But in the Rush Hour series, that relationship dynamic seems to have bled into real life as well. Like, because apparently in early days of production, Jackie Chan was pretty frustrated with Chris Tucker's lack of professionalism.
And he just keep talking. I just look at that guy. Why he keep talking?
And there was like the language barrier as well, so it led to this kind of initially strained working relationship.
Yeah.
But like, as the filming of the series progresses and the money was like rolling in, this kind of led to like more of a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
Like a real life love-hate relationship that kind of translates to the screen. Whereas for Shanghai Noon and Shanghai Nights, I have a feeling that Owen Wilson and Jackie Chan's working relationship was just much better.
Yeah.
Like they were just much more professional.
Yeah.
But like that's really good for making a film, but at the same time you kind of lose.
You lose that little bit of friction.
Yeah, that naturally antagonistic like bromance.
Well, I mean, Risky and I were talking about like artists who have friction with each other. We were talking about how like what's his name, Donnie Yen and Tom from Radiohead have a lot of friction when they create music. Or even if you go back to the Beatles, John and Paul McCartney had a lot of friction creating music together as well.
Probably Yoko Ono and every member of
Yeah.
the Beatles.
So it's kind of that friction that kind of creates that magic as well. You kind of want to work in a place where you get along with everyone on a movie set, but
Makes
also
it a lot
like
smoother, right? Yeah.
if you have a little bit of friction as well and a little bit of like disagreements, where like
that's where the magic happens.
And it's fucking weird because it shouldn't make sense, but it kind of does, and I can't even really explain it. I guess that's just human nature.
Well, it was in Drive My Car, right? He talks about that magic.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah, I fucking love that movie. But Shanghai Knights, I really like its extremely playful use of real life characters and fictional characters and events in this film. Jackie Chan, he meets Roy O'Bannon, who has like wasted all their money apparently in investing in zeppelins. And then but there's kind of a funnier reason to why he wasted his money, which is he's actually like busted all his money on writing these really like egotistical adventure stories of himself But he's like used like a pen name Sage McAllister.
Yeah.
And it's a really funny shot when like Jackie Chan realizes, or like Owen Wilson tells Jackie Chan that he wrote those books,
that
not
he is
Sage
Sage
McAllister. It's just like a zoom shot of Owen Wilson looking like the Colonel.
He's just wearing like a really fake beard.
He's like, you wrote those lines? It's really funny.
Yeah, there's a lot of good gags. It's a lot more
Yeah.
family friendly than the Rush Hour series.
Yeah.
Like that, it's got one of our all-time favorite bits where they're trying to, they are infiltrating Rathbone's party in the most ridiculous disguises.
Yeah.
And there's a bit where like Owen Wilson is prepping Jackie Chan for the party. And it's just good show.
And he's like dressed up
Cheerio.
as a Maharaja.
Yeah.
Which is like, he has a conversation with Rathbone.
Yeah.
And like Rathbone, he's like, I spent most of my time in the Orients.
Yes.
In China. And then he can't like spot that a Chinese guy is
Pretending
like,
to be the Maharaja of Nevada.
he's clearly not Indian.
Yeah.
But like
But is
Rathbone's
it?
just like, oh yeah, you know, maybe it's
I could
how
buy
progressive, as
Yeah.
he says.
I
to
could
the-
buy that a British person of that era, even one as well travelled as Rathbone is supposed to be, might make that mistake. But,
Maybe in history there was a Chinese Maharaja.
it might have been, there's
I highly doubt it.
well, Chon Wang is quite tanned in this film, he's under that Nevada sun tone.
Yeah, sure, he's under the Nevada sun. Yeah, but yeah, I was just saying, like when they go to London, there's like references to Charlie Chaplin. There's references
played
to
by a young Aaron Taylor Johnson, back when
yeah.
he was just Aaron Johnson.
Yeah, when he wasn't Craven the Hunter.
Yes.
Or
Before he got really ripped for Kick-Ass.
for Kick-Ass, and before he was a soldier in Godzilla 1,
Sure, yeah.
the movie. But yeah, it's got like this. There's a really funny Jack the Ripper reference.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where like Lynn, she kicks him into a river.
One of the characters is supposed to be Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yes, Arthur Conan Doyle.
Playing the police chief. Random. Yeah, there's a lot of really playful liberty taking in the realm of history, I guess.
A lot of Roy O'Bannon paying out like the British.
Yep.
Like, when they go into like the bowl to like look for Rathbone, and then they're like at the buffet or whatever, and they're saying how like weird British food is and stuff, and he's like, the waiter's just like spotted dicks. It's just like it's just really fun. It's so juvenile, but it's just like it's so silly.
And they do the gag where Owen Wilson finds out what haggis is and then spits it out. Yeah.
Is that weird for Americans to eat something as weird as that? I thought it's kind of normal. I mean, like people eat grits. What is a grit? Is it like an intestine or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the joke still works.
Yeah, it works. It's funny.
There's a lot of fish out of water jokes
Yeah,
in
yeah.
this one, and a lot of sly digs at British culture.
Yeah. Oh, there's also like a very obvious reference to Singing in the Rain as well when he's fighting the gang. That's a very fun scene.
Yeah.
The fight scenes in this movie are really good.
The action is a lot sparser than I remember. Like, there's a lot more banter than I remember.
Yeah,
in this
it's a lot,
film.
but the movie never really feels boring.
Yeah,
to
like,
me.
it's a very tight screenplay.
Everything is resolved like very quickly. There's the usual like the brothers are at each other's necks and fall out.
Yeah, there's
and
like a
then-
tiny bit of conflict.
There's a tiny little bit of conflict. Yeah.
It's resolved by a pillow fight.
A pillow
which is
fight.
A really
Yeah,
fun
that's
scene
one of
as
our
well.
funny scenes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We really like the song for that. Music. I don't know what the title of the song is, but it's it's just very like 19, like it's kind of like that pub folk kind of dance song in the old British times. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just having a pillow fight, and there's this really random like bald guy
Yep.
who's just like pillow fighting with them.
The music really sells it.
Yeah, it
the
really-
music is on point in this film. Man.
Yeah.
Like, and the action is really fun as well. Like,
Yeah.
there's the bit where Chon is in the revolving door of the hotel and he's like beating up all the cops there.
Yeah.
Like, the fight scenes are really well put together, and there's like a really high level of attention to detail in them. Like the bit where you talked about the Singing in the Rain bit, where like the gang is trying to get to Aaron Taylor Johnson's Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
The scene starts off with like a confrontation between John and Roy and the gang.
Yeah.
And then like Chon loses his coat,
Oh yeah.
and then you see like a goon in the background going, "Oh, it's a nice coat," and he's like putting it on.
Yeah, yeah.
And then at the end of the fight scene, like Chon sees the guy and he's wearing the coat and he's like, "Hey, that's mine."
Yeah.
And he gets the coat back. It's so good.
Yeah.
And like so many things happen like during that fight scene, like because I think Jackie Chan in previous films, like he prefers to do his fight scenes in kind of like real world settings, like
Yeah.
the Who Am I fight is like just on a real rooftop.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a lot of Police Story was just like like in the streets, you know, kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But in this one, I guess because of the era, like they
there
had
be a
to
lot of
film a lot
production
more
design.
sets,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But I think, to be honest, I think that's to the benefit of the film, because I guess the benefit of having it filmed in a set is you can put like lots of shit into
Yeah,
the set,
yeah.
right? And I think because of the era, like in that market fight scene alone, there's like so much shit that he can play with in that
Yeah,
fight
yeah.
scene. There's fucking chairs and tables and stalls and
Yeah.
there's chickens and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
umbrellas and,
Yeah.
and crates. There's just and ladders.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of organic environment. Like it's not organic because it is manufactured, but it feels very organic.
yeah. It's
Um,
the movie feels big. The world feels like, because they're there, you know. It's always populated.
There's
as well.
a lot of fucking extras in this film,
Yeah,
and they have to
yeah.
all be in costume as well.
Yeah.
Like the production design in general in this film is really good.
Yeah.
Like there's minimal green screen. There's the bits where they are using a green screen is quite noticeable.
Yeah, but that didn't really bother me because, I mean, filming at sea is kind of fucking annoying, to be honest. So it's like, yeah, fair enough.
And but for the most part, it is real sets, and like just really ornate and like you said, populated sets. Like
Yeah.
just in terms of the level of props as well, the costuming, like Chon and Roy's like cowboy outfits, and then like all the extras, like Victorian era costuming, Rathbone and his like Dracula outfit.
Yeah.
All that costuming is really good. The bit where they're in the library and
Yeah.
they're having that little fight scene in the library, it's like
Yeah, you
like
can see
shit, man.
the switching stuntman.
Oh yeah.
That's
It's
really
still a bit
funny.
of that. It wouldn't be
yeah.
a Jackie Chan film without
switching,
obvious
yeah.
stunt doubles.
It's like he like traps one of the guys in like in a ladder, and then like it cuts to like kind of like a wide shot, and the guy is like clearly Asian with like spiked hair. Oh yeah. This film also has Donnie Yen in it.
Oh
playing
yeah,
a villain.
a pretty early Donnie Yen.
Yeah, this might actually be one of the first films that I ever saw Donnie Yen in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he definitely done stuff before this, but yeah, maybe quite early in his transition to
Yeah.
America. I don't know if this was before Blade 2 or after.
Around the same time,
Yeah, it
I
was
think.
around the same era.
Not really that utilized, to be honest, in this movie.
Yeah, I think if this film was made maybe 5 years later,
when Donnie Yen was a proper
yeah,
household name.
like
yeah.
after Ip Man fame, maybe.
Yeah.
Because Jackie Chan does have a fight scene with him, like a final fight scene with Donnie Yen. Because
Yeah.
Donnie Yen plays the big bad who is working with Rathbone. His character's name is Wu Chao,
Yeah.
who's like an exiled.
Yeah, he's like the Emperor's
person.
brother or
Yeah,
something, stepbrother.
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah. So Jackie Chan does fight him along with his sister as well. But it's pretty quick fight, pretty uneventful fight
pretty,
compared to
like,
the other action
yeah,
set
it's-
pieces that came
The other
before
action
it.
set pieces are better. It's funny because I think when I was a kid, I kind of knew that this was that this guy probably had some sway in like the Hong Kong or the China action scene, but. Yeah, it's just kind of underwhelming. The actual final fight between Jackie Chan versus Aidan Gillen or Aidan Gillen's stunt double
yeah.
is actually better.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it's built up more anyway.
It's a little bit built up. It's also like it kind of comes out of nowhere a little bit.
yeah,
because,
Rathbone's combat ability
yeah,
comes
it's
out
like
of nowhere.
it's like he's like really good. Like
Yeah, he's like built up throughout the movie as kind of like a bit pompous.
Yeah,
Like
a
he
bit
does
of a
kill
wimp,
Uncle
yeah.
Benny at the start of the film, but he doesn't really do any fighting.
Nah.
Uncle Benny's like 100 years old as well, so
Yeah.
but then like he gets to Chon versus Rathbone, and
Yeah.
Rathbone just schools him. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
even
yeah.
a contest.
yeah. It's just it's funny. Like it's not really built up that he's like really good at swords. It's a really cool
It
fight
does
scene.
make sense
yeah.
though, like because he is a man of means at that era. You know, if he was interested in fencing, he would have done a lot of fencing. He would have had a lot of time to practice fencing.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, like I think Aidan Gillen is doing a bit of it as well. Like you see
Yeah,
a lot of
you kinda
front-on
see it a little
shots of
bit,
him.
Yeah, I feel like Donnie Yen should have had the final fight.
But Rathbone is the ultimate you know, he's the one that killed Chon's father. So,
Yeah.
you know.
You killed my father.
Yeah. You killed my best friend. Yeah. He doesn't even, Chon doesn't even best him in combat. He just like,
Yeah,
you
he
know,
tricks him.
yeah, he does. He self-sacrifices to get the win.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, they don't. He doesn't die, obviously.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I agree with like the two victories against the villains in this movie. Because like Chon doesn't beat Donnie Yen or Rathbone in either of the fights. He's rescued or has to self-sacrifice, as you say.
I don't mind it because like Chon, he's just an Imperial Guard. Like he's not supposed to be the best.
He's not supposed to be the best. It's kind of like, I don't know, it just feels a bit cheap. It's like an accident, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. But again, like the point of this series of movies is friendship wins out overall. Like the bad people are doing it just for themselves for selfish reasons.
Yeah.
That's why like when Chon defeats them through teamwork, I think it's okay. Like I think it's fine. I see where you're coming from in that like you kind of want that one-on-one victory, that catharsis, but I think like him winning through friendship is fine as well.
Yeah, I don't know. It's still a bit cheap for me. Yeah.
You know, like Lin needs something to do.
Yeah.
You know? I appreciate that they didn't just get her to fight the female bad
yeah.
girl. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like
But she doesn't really fight Donnie Yen either. She
fights a bunch of
fights
guys,
a little bit.
and then she shoots him with a
with
a
big
firework.
firecracker.
Yeah.
And then like Royal Banner just gets kicked down the fucking window at the start anyway. So that's not really teamwork. That's more like team luck.
Yeah,
that
I
he
guess
didn't die when he fell out the window.
Yeah, that's his character though. Like I think in Shanghai Noon there was a lot more gunslinging, so he had a bit more to do during the action scene.
The thing that I really get while watching a movie like this and comparing them to movies now really is like the humor. Like, as you said, like there is a lot of banter in this movie. Some of it is hit and miss. But what is really funny in this movie is the visual comedy. Yeah. And just the expressions, like, on their faces. Like, the bit where you and I always remember this. It's like, there's this, like, giant wheel that they're fighting that is, like, basically dipping Owen Wilson into water. Yeah. And it's kind of like Jackie Chan's stakes is that the goon is trying to drown Owen Wilson, like by spinning this fucking wheel thing. Yeah. And then like they're fighting by Jackie Chan trying to spin the wheel the counter ways to get it up. And like Jackie Chan's using the wheels to like hit the guy. And then there's like a close up of his face where and Owen Wilson's in the background just getting dunked like repeatedly. And Jackie Chan's face and the musical theme is really funny. It's really funny. Yeah. And you and I have always remembered that scene. We are watching this movie a lot through nostalgic, goggle eyes. Because I don't know if this movie was very well received back then.
It made money.
Yeah,
for sure.
But like, there was never a third one, and it's probably too late for it now.
Yeah. But I think the reason I really love this film is I think this is a film that Jackie Chan has been waiting his whole career to make.
Now the new generation, not like an old generation. Old generation, I'm the director. The new generation, come on, everybody create a movie. So this is why Shanghai Knights is so good.
Yeah, you were saying that, yeah.
It's like a culmination. The fact that all the nods to his like creative influences are all in there, like Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton, Gene Kelly references, like they're all there. He's got the US budget to make something of like a grand scale, but it still feels like a Jackie Chan like adventure, like fantasy adventure.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And he's got full creative control, obviously, over all the fight scenes and the action set pieces. He's working with someone that he actually likes. I think.
I don't really know what their off-screen
I don't know.
relationship
I think the fact that we haven't heard anything about it probably means it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Because I know, despite the money that the Rush Hour series has made Jackie Chan, he doesn't like those films.
Yeah, I think so.
Like he thinks that they are a little bit racist. He doesn't like that they play on his lack of English ability a lot. Yeah, like some of the jokes are kind of off color for him as well, and he actually has a hard time understanding what Chris Tucker is saying a lot of the time. So, and they might make another Rush Hour film. Like they're talking about it.
It's funny because you're saying like, and this is always the case when it comes to artists. It's like Jackie Chan gets to make something that he wants to make like in Shanghai Nights. Nah, make more rush hour.
Yeah,
I want more rush
it comes
hour.
down to money eventually. Like I'm sure Jackie Chan is thinking about the bottom line as well.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
think this film, like Shanghai Nights, is just that perfect blend of like the East and the West, and the
Yeah.
perfect blend of action and comedy and fantasy elements
Yeah.
with real world elements. It's just like a film that feels like Jackie Chan has been like dreaming of making for
Yeah.
his whole career.
Yeah.
So that's why I really love this film. I think it's probably my favorite Jackie Chan film,
Yeah.
even if it's not like the best Jackie Chan film.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really good. It's really good film.
really
I
good,
think
yeah.
the directing as well, like the editing,
Yeah.
is really on point, and that's something that I haven't noticed until this most recent rewatch. Is even though there's a lot of wipe transitions in
Yeah,
this
yeah.
film,
There's a lot of wipe.
a
yeah,
weird
a lot
amount of
wipes.
wipe
Yeah,
transitions
yeah.
in this film. But the director, David Dobkin,
Yeah.
he did Wedding Crashers, The Change Up, R.I.P.D., and a bunch of Maroon 5 music videos.
Oh, RPD.
Yeah.
That's,
So I haven't seen any of those films, but
I wonder if there would be like a Jackie Chan, Ryan Reynolds. That would be the.
yeah, I
Like,
think that
yeah.
ship has sailed a bit.
Yeah, Jackie's a bit too old now. Yeah. Yeah, I miss these kind of movies, you know?
Yeah,
Like
I
they're.
think
It's just fun. This is the kind of movie where the flaws in itself, like, kind of make the movie. Because it's just like. It's not a very deep movie.
No.
And you go there and you have fun.
yeah, and that's Jackie Chan. Like that's
Yeah.
the best things that Jackie Chan does is the fun things.
Yeah.
It's like I think this is peak Jackie Chan, and
Yeah.
this is probably where he should have stopped. If I'm gonna be honest, nah.
The tuxedo, man.
Tuxedo's
Yeah.
okay.
The,
Fucking Kung Fu Yoga's okay, I
Kung Fu
guess.
yoga. But like, yeah.
Hidden Strike's okay, right, Tom?
Hidden Strike. The bubble fight scene is the best. When you talk about a lot of modern action movies these days, you always want your film to have like a message, right? This is just fun. Don't take it too seriously. You know, just that we're not even trying to have a message. Like the theme in this movie is like friendship. I guess that's
friendship.
it, really. Yeah,
Family.
friendship and family. Yeah,
Two people that are culturally different can be mates.
yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Unless they're a British Dracula, in which case you can fuck off and fall off a clock
Or
tower.
the clock tower. Yeah, it's weird because sometimes when I judge movies, I kind of critique movies like I critique people. Like there are inherent flaws within that person, but overall you like that person. And I think this is the kind of movie where it's like just like a goofy, fun person that you want to hang around with. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably like Owen Wilson himself.
Yeah. Wow. He does his wow in this movie.
He does
He
do
does,
a
he does
wow.
a few like Owen Wilson, like wow. Yeah. Wow.
Good film. Underrated sequel.
Yeah. Underrated sequel. Underrated film for sure. Yeah.
All right, guys. I think that's Jackie Chan-uary done.
Yeah, Jackie Chan. Yeah. Are we doing another martial artist month pun?
Yeah, I mean, it could be anyone, really. It doesn't have to be a martial artist, you know? We could do John Woo-uary.
John-uary. Yeah. That'll be
Yeah.
next year. Yeah. I wouldn't mind doing. Yeah. I'd like to revisit old John Woo.
Yeah, we'll workshop some things. Maybe leave it in the comments below if you've got a good idea for a series of movies. What do you want us to cover next? But yeah, if you like this series and these episodes, maybe check out our podcast, Two Asian Blokes, our weekly podcast where we talk about Asian pop culture, films, TV show, comic books, etc. Yeah, if you like this kind of content,
Yeah.
thank
Thanks
you.
for listening.
Thank you
Thanks for
listening.
sticking through the months.
Yeah.
If you made it this far.
Yeah. I hope this has been a great start to your year and hoping we're having a good 2024.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Take care of yourselves.
All right.
See ya.